We don't want true capitalism. So this is a way of manipulating markets and fixing, rigging prices. Do you understand how bad this is? How pernicious, okay, is a good fancy word for bad. It's really, really bad, okay? This is the debasement of your currency. This induces things like crimes of financial desperation. It allows the dubious wars to get started, okay? It makes people hard up and they want to go where they're wanted and needed. This is what people do. It's social Darwinian economics. Creates debt, individual debt, okay? All this college debt, all the debt out there, individual, state, national debt, all of it is created through these unsound economic policies that we've been under for a long, long time. And it's not because the people running the show are incompetent, okay? Quite the contrary. They're devious. They're deviants, okay? They're deceptors, Decepticon folks. These are miserable liars, okay? That, in a nutshell, that's it. It's just trickery. It's like akin to sorcery. I mean, they've got all the cards up their sleeve. The card of murder, that's it. They hold that. So when JFK was crossing these people, and he was gonna supplant the Federal Reserve notes with this new currency called silver certificates, silver notes. If you look it up, you'll see. So he was effectively going to render the current, who are still, these people own the money printing copyright. Understand? I mean, forget the multi-billionaires out there. Okay, you talk about rich. These people own it all. They own the money printing rights. So essentially, they could just buy up everything in the whole world, all the goods and services in perpetuity tomorrow with the power they have. It's no small wonder how they haven't completely done this. But that's the road we're on. That's the track we're on. This one world order, this new world order cabal, that's who these people are. They want to control everything. They don't want anybody to talk back to them. They like a Chinese-style, totalitarian, authoritarian, fascist state for all of us. So all you capitalists and all you communists that want to squabble with each other, just understand this, man. Okay, at the end of the day, they're going to murder all of us. That's their intent. They hate us. And you've got to decide yourself as an individual if you love or hate humanity, which side you're on here. So whoever I'm talking to out there, the message is the same. Okay, you better give a damn. Okay, giving a damn is loving your fellow man. It's caring about your fellow man, because this is not something we go alone. Freedom is something we attain together. We either hang separately or we hang together, okay? But we've got to hang together as humanity and fight these people and understand that freedom is an absolute term, okay? An absolute term. If you're not absolutely free, then you're just not free, period. And that has to include economic freedom, financial freedom, monetary freedom. So consider the things I'm saying and how true they are. It's the same thing, the same stuff Jesus taught, okay? This is where the root of all evil is. These are the top money lovers. So Jesus says the root of all evil is the love of money. And that's who they are. They're willing to do anything. While you and I, we struggle with sin in our own lives. We say, hey, I feel better. You know what? If I'd never had sex outside of marriage, I'd be a happier man. I could say that myself. I believe that to be true. But I fall and I'm humiliated, and God picks me up, and at the end of the day I'm a more humble human being, and this is how it works. In our weakness his strength is perfected. But I don't sit here and revel in it and say it's good and condone it and tell her, yeah, you ought to sin too, be like me and do this and that. Hey, no, man. I struggle with my own. I'll have to stand before my God, my owner, one-on-one, just like you, just like everybody, and answer for my beliefs, answer for my failures, answer for everything. We all will. So we better be ready to do that. We better be really serious, gravely serious about what's going on here. And the worst sin of all is hatred toward your fellow human being. So that includes hatred toward ourselves. So we've got to be careful not to hate ourselves. We've got to not condemn ourselves. We've got to forgive ourselves. At the end of the day, we know that's where the ball always ends up in our court. We're always our own worst enemy. Some cliches are true, some aren't, okay? If you can't beat them, join them. That comes from the pit of hell. Okay, ignorance is bliss, again, from the pit of hell. But there's a lot of truisms that are that. They're there for a reason, because it makes sense. So you understand that freedom has to include financial freedom. And we've got to ask ourselves, what is the will of our owner for us in our lives? Okay. And you've got to be very clear that that is to be happy, and you have a right to pursue happiness. And you have to understand that that means being on the side of everybody, on the side of humanity. Okay, that's it. There's only two sides here. Understand that the current establishmentarians are diametrically opposed to humanity getting its way and prevailing. They're absolutely, incontrovertibly opposed to economic justice on earth, to egalitarian precepts and principles being the rule of the day. They don't want universal prosperity because this is the last nail in their coffin. Okay, this is the silver dagger to the vampire. Okay, this would render them irrelevant, and they don't want it. They don't want you to believe that we can live together in peace and harmony, and in full prosperity and full freedom, full liberty, full security. They don't want you to believe that we can ever do this. And here I'm here to tell you, you can. You've got to believe you can. Okay, pick up a Bible. Don't be afraid of it. Okay, Satan is a spirit, and that's who these people represent. They represent that mean, evil, bad spirit, malignant tumor of a spirit. That's what it is. And it is not out there working in your best interest, my best interest, or any other decent, upright human being's purpose that wants peace on earth, that wants social economic justice and all these things. Okay, David Knight he was interviewing this abortion doctor. The guy, I think he killed, I don't know, 40,000 babies or something. But the guy, real sicko. But here's something else. I mean, these abortions, what's this all about? It's fear. It's this pseudo reverence, this phony reverence that's being extracted from the public through the money. Okay, this is what's doing it. Okay, there'd be virtually no abortions out there if women didn't have fear. Do you know how much child rearing costs? I mean, daycare and all this stuff. I mean, they raised the minimum wage here in California, and because it went like, I don't know, less than $1 over some ridiculously low sum of money, it put them over this threshold, and they lost these, the social welfare privilege of this state subsidizing their child care. So you understand what's going on here. It's all about division. It's all about, making you think that good, people should be off welfare. Okay. But these are the ones that are creating the need for the welfare. Okay. They're playing both sides of the field. They're trying to have their cake and succeeding, by the way, so far, and eating it too. They don't want the problems to go away. They want to maintain the problems. Okay. If they could, they'd increase the problems to the point of concentration camps. Okay. That's where they're coming from. That's what they want to do. They write about it publicly. Look at these new 10 commandments they've erected in Georgia, the state of Georgia, the Georgia Guidestones. See where these people are coming from. They want to get the earth down to 500 million people. They want to kill us, okay? So they don't care that there's all these people falling through the social welfare cracks. They got this Section 8 housing. And I just looked up the figures. $50 billion a year they've been getting for this program. Okay, and where does that go? It just exacerbates the problem, makes it worse. They're subsidizing. It goes in the pockets of very few people. It makes them, fabulously wealthy, like guys like Rich Dad out there. These subsidies. It affects what they call, the going market rate of everything. Okay, which is nonsense. I mean, there's more surplus housing in America than ever before in history, and I hear from the mainstream media there's a apartment shortage, and this is why your rents are going up and all this nonsense. And this immigration thing, people got to get this through their heads. The artificial demand that all these refugees and immigrants are putting on these markets, and you need certain things, and housing is one of those things. So not only are they fixing the prices, okay, through market manipulation, collusion of these different special interest groups, but now they're injecting all this, no, you're bad if you don't want all the immigrants in the world to come here. You're just an isolationist. You're a xenophobe. You're a bad human being. You're immoral. But no discussion about the native sons and daughters, and among them, many of them veterans, that are dying out on the streets now, and not a finger is being lifted to end this. They need more money at HUD, so if you're as a taxpayer willing to pay more money, again, like the analogy of the gas tank with a hole in it, the hole keeps getting bigger. You're going, why would I stick more Why would I want to stick more money just so that, you can pour more gasoline into the mouths of the rich, the money into their mouths and making me poor, and the hole just gets worse. The problem's not going away. It's not getting fixed. It's not being addressed. It's illogical. Let's just at least be logical, at least be mathematical here, at least be scientific about this approach. Leave God out of it. Leave morals and religion and ethics out of it entirely. Strictly math, strictly logic. Okay, let's confront this issue. And when you do that, you realize guys like me are completely right. Oh, I could call myself a bleeding heart liberal, but on the same hand, I am also a fiscal conservative. I believe in fixing the damn problem, but real. I'm a capitalist, but I sure as hell am absolutely and utterly, unequivocally opposed to crony capitalism. Okay, all it serves to do is besmirch the name of true capitalism, and I hate it. I hate it with a passion, and people got to understand that. Alex Jones entertained some woman that was talking about renting derivatives. I mean, and then he's going to complain about George Soros. You can't do that. That's what I mean about George Soros. That's the kind of stuff that he's made his fortune on. If you can't beat him, join him mentality, right? There's another phony baloney saying, okay, it's not true. Is that what we should do? Is that what your Bible says? Is that what Jesus would tell you to do? Oh, we can't beat the evildoers, so we got to go with the path of least resistance. Just join them, man. That's it. Was prescribing head over heels to social Darwinian principles here, and that's that, because I'm trying to survive, damn it. I've got to take care of my own family. I can't worry about this wealth disparity and the poverty growing and people falling through cracks and the problems getting worse and, all this junk. I'm just going to blame the immigrants. I'm just going to say it's unfair trade. It's the immigrants taking all our jobs. And while I'll admit, there's another aspect of it. Sure, all the immigrants, that helps keep us in line, all us cocky Native Americans, right? Oh, you think you're going to charge what you want? I got news for you. I got some hungry, strong, young immigrants here that are happy to do your job for 1/4 of what you were doing. And I could double their rent too. I mean, this is what's going on. And so they subsidize the housing market just enough to make it really, really bad and unaffordable. And people fall through the cracks. Donald Trump wants to fix this. Okay, but he's going after the heart of the beast. When you go after poverty, when you really are serious about ending the genocide on the public, the general public, okay? Because being poor is not immoral in any way. I mean, if you're going to say there's a moral issue here, okay, you could say, well, the rich may or may not be evil, but the poor, okay, are being made poor. None of them want to be poor. It's very rare that somebody's unwilling to work. But what do you expect somebody to do when they're trying to live out of a poorhouse? I mean, live in the bushes, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I mean, that might be good for you, but you got to prove it by your experience, empirical evidence. I want to see. I want to know that you had it tough. Donald Trump likes Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was homeless as a boy. Look into it. Read up on it. He and his father Thomas had to squat, in a log cabin, whatever they built a lean-to. I forget what it was, but he was homeless as a boy. So he knows hardship. Adversity makes men. Prosperity makes monsters. Just because Donald Trump is fabulously wealthy doesn't mean he doesn't understand that fact. And it doesn't mean that his conscience hasn't been stricken and he says, you know what? I've got to give a shit. I've got to give a crap about other people. I've got to. My conscience won't let me not, because I value my conscience. I value these unseen qualities within me, my integrity, my honor, my soul. And we've all got to understand that. Understand that, yeah, I struggle with sin, but man, look at all these things. I'm an awesome human being because I'm made in the image and likeness of my creator, my owner, my God. That there's all these things I wouldn't do for any amount of money. I don't want billions of dollars. If it means these people got to die out on the street, I don't want it. I want an end to it, man. I want to be happy, and I have a right to pursue happiness. I ranted last week, about, Jerry Brown. And you know what? Look, I don't pull any punches in what I have to say, okay? But I don't mean to offend anybody. And I'm not comparing Jerry Brown to Hitler or, Nero or, look, all I'm saying is he needs to be honest, okay? Because right now I'm feeling that he's not just ignorant, okay, about the homeless problem we have in this state, okay? He is just I don't know what he's doing, man. I don't know what he's thinking. He's compromising his integrity, his honor, his dignity, his soul, his conscience. I mean, what do you think? I know what the immigration thing's all about. It's all about business interests. Talk to any local chamber of communists. Okay, I call them communists because it's a derogatory term, but I could just as easily call them the chamber of crony capitalists. Absolutely. To me, they're one and the same bunch. Two peas in a pod. They're all working together. It's fascist precepts and principles that are being shoved down